I wanted to share a story with you of a coaching client that I worked with a couple weeks ago. And one of the things that we were talking about was how difficult it is to be in the presence of somebody who's crying or in pain and begging you to do something that you know is not a good thing for them. So when you love somebody who has substance use disorder, you get the crying, you get the begging, you get the screaming, you get the anger, you get a lot of things. But one of the things that I think is really quite difficult for some people is to be present when somebody is crying. And so I asked my client, I said, "So what's your response when somebody cries with you? Your loved one cries with you?" And his comment to me was, "I don't do anything. I look away. I want it to be over with. It's too painful for me to witness their pain." And I said, "Are you open to changing and learning how to do this differently?" And he said, "Yes." And I said, "Lots of times we will sit with somebody potentially that's crying, and it is uncomfortable for us. And yet, for me, the flip side of that is, wow, what courage on their part to be that vulnerable. And what a statement it is for them to feel that they can be that vulnerable with me. And so I want to honor that vulnerability. I want to give them the space to emote, to cry, to do what they need to do. And when it feels appropriate, lots of times I will ask, "Tell me, what are the tears about? Can you help me understand what are the tears about?" Because inevitably, in my head, I think I know. And I'm making up stories about why they're crying. And most of the time, when I ask, I do not have it correct. And so by asking, then I have a window in. By asking, they are able to articulate where their emotions are coming from. They can actually speak it out loud to somebody who will see them and hear them and love them without judgment, without a need to fix it, without a need to take it away from them. Give them the gift of their humanity in that moment. Be curious, ask questions, sometimes just be quiet. Sometimes people just need you to sit with them, potentially hug them, and just be present with them. In the most difficult moments of my life, that's all I needed. I just needed to have somebody let me know that I was loved in the midst of my pain. There's no way they could take it away from me. There's no way they could say something that would make it different. I'm still going to have my pain. And I actually am allowed to have my pain. Pain is when you get cracked wide open, when you get to feel the fullness of your humanity. Allow people that. If you start to feel uncomfortable, that's your stuff. Practice. Learn to be uncomfortable in the uncomfortable. Being present for somebody in vulnerable and intimate moments like this is the absolute greatest gift you can give somebody. When my dad was in the throes of his passing, and I was by his bedside, just being present, just talking to him as he was in a coma and he came out of the coma within the last hour to say goodbye, just being present. loving him in that moment, talking to him, telling him, reminding him, at least spiritually, of the stories that I cherished of our moments together. This takes courage. It is, I think, the highest tribute in terms of loving deeply. And it is an incredible gift to you to be willing to step into that space, to be present in the most intimate and vulnerable moments. It's the giving and receiving of true love. So if you love someone who's dealing with substance use disorder, you're probably going to get a lot of opportunities to practice this. Seize every time as an opportunity to practice. Practice to learn, to grow, to get better at holding the space without judgment, without assumptions, without needing to fix them, without needing to take away their pain. Be present for them. Put yourself aside and love them in that moment as deeply as you possibly can. Those are the moments they will forever cherish and remember. And those are the moments you will have seized that in fact will change your life.